So, browsing on Twitter yesterday, I would read a lot of things about the Vancouver Canucks. See what people are talking about, see the latest buzz, see what people are reacting to when it comes to the actual games. But I noted that some people, yesterday at least, were talking about Wayne Simmonds of the New Jersey Devils as a potential Vancouver Canucks trade target. Now, I didn't see anybody official talking about this, I just saw people like me and you, just normal, everyday people, bringing up the idea on Simmonds coming to Vancouver. And I saw maybe like 2 or 3 people bring it up, and I was like, why are they talking about Simmonds? Turns out, give it a day later, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all the tweets from all the TSN guys, all the people in the media, saying that the Vancouver Canucks have apparently expressed interest in the New Jersey Devils right winger Wayne Simmonds. Oh boy. Okay. Let's try to tackle this topic here with an understanding of why exactly the Vancouver Canucks would want to do that. Well, who is Wayne Simmonds? Wayne Simmonds is a hockey player who, for a considerable amount of time, was one of the best power forwards in the game today. Now, he wasn't like an Eric Lindros kind of player, but in terms of what he was able to do, he was a consistent 50, sometimes even 60-point guy who could get upwards of 30 goals, powering his way to the net, using his really good stride, and overall just dominating the game physically and on the score sheet. Thing is, that Wayne Simmonds was the Wayne Simmonds we knew from about 3 or 4 years ago. Nowadays, at 31 years of age, Wayne Simmonds is not that. He can still try to play like that, but he's not necessarily that anymore. This season with the New Jersey Devils, Simmonds has 53 games played, 5 goals, and 19 total points. It should be noted that New Jersey is indeed one of the worst offensively productive teams this year. It's why Jack Hughes is not on the really good pace that people thought he was going to be. But Wayne Simmonds is obviously going to be affected too by the Devils' lack of scoring. Simmonds right now is tied for 11th in scoring on the Devils with Miles Wood and Will Butcher. It's not necessarily a great statistical profile that he boasts, but his skill set is one that apparently the Vancouver Canucks have expressed interest in with the health concerns that have arisen with Michael Furland. Now, this sucks because literally just like 2 days ago, or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. We talked about Michael Furland specifically and what we can expect when he comes back. So, I'm in a weird spot right now where I'm saying, yeah, well, we have a player in Furland who is physical, who can put up points, and who honestly is just waiting to come back. So it doesn't make sense to me why we would be wanting to go after a Wayne Simmonds unless the concerns for Furland were that serious. Now, if they are that serious, that's something that's new to me. I didn't know that in the past. If we want to take a look at why exactly the Canucks are going to do this, let's take a look at some Pierre LeBrun quotes from TSN 1040 from earlier this morning. The Canucks were in there pretty heavy last summer in regards to Wayne Simmonds. I wonder if Wayne wishes he had gone to the Vancouver Canucks. One of the reasons his name has come up is all the elements he brings, a player who's feared and respected around the league. It also happened because there's some level of concern around Furland, yeah, we just talked about that, and I don't think they'll even pick up the phone if Furland gets through his recovery and everything is fine. The Canucks have to do their due diligence, and they're smart to do it. So there you go. Pierre LeBrun is bringing it up that if Furland does come back in the way that I said he probably could yesterday, then the Canucks likely don't even entertain the idea of trading for a Wayne Simmonds. But to me, just the idea of trading for him is so out there. The guy's got $5 million of a cap hit this year, and he only does have 1 year, FYI. But the Canucks only have about like $1 million left to spend. If the Canucks go after Wayne Simmonds, they're going to actually have to unload some salary the other way. And whether or not that's a Sven Baertschi, or that's an Eriksson, or that's whatever it is, you're moving something out to get something back in. And with the way this team has been performing recently, I don't know if I want to mess with that. I don't know if I want to take a Louis Eriksson out of the lineup because he's honestly been pretty okay with Pearson and Horvat. Baertschi's probably the only one in that spot that I can say, yeah, okay, send him out. Because Baertschi, let's be honest, he probably deserves a little bit better. But still, I don't see the stars aligning for a probable trade scenario to come out where the Vancouver Canucks end up looking like they won the deal. If they add Wayne Simmonds, it would only be adding because they think he looks good, and not because they think they're making a good trade per se. Wayne Simmonds is 6'2", 185 pounds, and he was a really good power forward in this league. But this year, that's changed. It's plain and simple, that's changed. Sure, players around the league can fear this player because of the things that he has done in the past, but Wayne Simmonds today is definitely not the Wayne Simmonds of a few years ago. But okay, I'll take the benefit of the doubt. Let's not talk about Wayne Simmonds of the past, let's talk about Wayne Simmonds of the now. Wayne Simmonds of the now is a guy who, at 5 goals in 51 games, can add a different layer of grittiness, sandpaper, overall physical ability if he was placed in the bottom 6. And I think that's probably the only place I would slot Wayne Simmonds in on this Vancouver Canucks team. In the bottom 6, playing with, I don't know, a Roussel, a Schaller, a Sutter, a Beagle. I would see him playing with those guys. Not necessarily in the same spot as a Jake Virtanen with Pettersson and Miller, or a Louis Eriksson, as we talked about before. Wayne Simmonds to me is a guy who wouldn't be suited for a Vancouver Canucks top 6. And it's kind of weird because you kind of have this feeling that if they did go after Simmonds and they acquired him, it kind of feels like they would put him there, doesn't it? That's just how this team goes sometimes. Wayne Simmonds to me is a good bottom 6 addition, but again, with the cap hit, with the money involved, I don't see a scenario where the Canucks trade for him and they end up using him in the bottom 6. To get the money freed up to get this player, they're gonna have to give up somebody that's worth something in this lineup. And I mentioned Baertschi before. Okay, that's an extra $3.6 million cleared up. Okay, what else do you need? Because we need about $400K more after. Brandon Sutter? Jay Beagle? I don't know. I don't think it would be in the New Jersey Devils' agenda to trade a Wayne Simmonds for a player who, albeit does have a lower cap hit, has a contract that is a little bit longer than Simmonds does. So automatically to me that dismisses the guys like Roussel, it dismisses the guys like Beagle, it dismisses the guys like Louis Eriksson. So, I don't know. If the Canucks had the cap space and they were like, okay, let's send like a 5th or a 4th round pick for Wayne Simmonds and we can use him till the end of the year, maybe see if we can make the playoffs with him, then okay, I guess I could live with that. A 4th round pick isn't the end of the world. But a Simmonds trade would only work if we free up the money. And if we free up the money, that means we're trading away a roster player or two. And that messes up with the entire chemistry of the team. That inserts Simmonds somewhere in this lineup, and hopefully it's not in the top 6. So there's just too much to think about in my opinion. I know Pierre LeBrun mentioned that this is only because they're doing their due diligence, but the fact that people are talking about this and taking it seriously just kind of feels weird to me. Because I did see it yesterday amongst a few small groups of people, and I was like, I wonder why they're talking about that. Well, now I know why they're talking about that, and it seems like everybody is talking about that now. So, by golly gee, there's so many different perspectives on it. But when it all comes down to the trade deadline in a few weeks, I honestly am going to go on a record, and I'm going to say I don't think the Canucks do it. I don't think there is room within the lineup to fit in a Wayne Simmonds after freeing up the cap space in order to do that, and after having a Michael Furlan coming back who plays a similar style. I don't think it's going to happen. So I appreciate people really entertaining the idea because we know how crazy Vancouver fans are for their hockey and their rumors and their news and all that, but I don't think this one's going to happen. So, yeah. Comment down below what you think, because I know everybody's probably got their really strong-willed opinions about this as well. Hope you enjoyed this video, Social Dash Roll 99, and bye.